Sneakers. From basketball shoes to lifestyle shoes, they are a staple in everyone's closet. They are a fashion statement, they are equipment for sports, and they are an evolution of physics. First off, we have the Converse All-Stars, which were first released 100 years ago in 1917. They were the first shoes to be worn by the American Olympic basketball team in 1936. Playing in these shoes, they won 7 consecutive gold medals. Converse All-Stars featured a canvas construct which was lightweight and allowed for breathability. As acceleration is inversely proportional to the mass of an object in Newton's second law, lightweight materials are essential to a player's mobility, whether it's running across the court or leaping up to shoot the ball. Where the canvas construct succeeded in that, it lacked in structure and support for the foot. Rubber toes were crucial in the design of Converse All-Stars, as they acted as the only real cage or structure on the shoe. It was utilized as protection to the toes while running and when coming to sudden stops. To further improve performance during sudden movements in basketball, Converse created what was known as the grippiest soles in 1917. In basketball, it is important for the players to have good traction, and Converse came out with one of the first shoes that offered just that. Their patented non-skid technology creates traction and helps control sliding friction, also known as kinetic friction, because of the specially designed sole ridges. This technology is still used today. In 1932, the shoes were renamed Chuck Taylors after the American basketball player who adored the shoes and worked alongside Converse to sell the shoe and increase its popularity in more than just basketball. By the 60s, Chuck Taylors were worn by 90% of college and professional basketball players until soon vanishing from the pro basketball scene entirely by 1979. Anyone that plays basketball in Converse Chuck Taylors now, you simply don't know any better. Fast forward to 1969, we have the Adidas Superstars. These shoes incorporated a full leather upper, which increased support immensely in contrast to the Converse Chuck Taylors. On the sides, we can see the iconic 3 stripes that the company is known for, but did you know they were originally put there for stability purposes and not aesthetic? These 3 stripes acted like a rib cage for the shoe, which also increased its level of support. The Superstars featured rubber shell toes, which provided for better protection and durability needed in the sport of basketball. For traction and grip, Adidas opted for a herringbone pattern outsole, which also helped control sliding kinetic friction with its ridges like the Converse Chuck Taylors did. Newly developed cushioning technology was the biggest seller for the Adidas Superstars. This gave players such as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the biggest basketball players at the time, better comfort and reduced the force of impact on the foot on landing. This was the start of the cushioning technology revolution. Air in a box was Nike's campaign slogan when they released the Air Force Ones in 1982. This was the first basketball shoe that featured a pocket filled with air in the heel for cushioning and support. Nike Air was first patented and used in 1979 before it made its way into the iconic Air Force Ones. At the time of release, Nike signed 6 NBA players to wear the shoe on the court. For them, it changed the game. The flexible airbag or pocket was able to compress to reduce the force of impact and return to its original form instantly. Aside from the air technology, the Air Force Ones had a full leather construct which included something else new: ankle straps. Officially called proprioceptic belts, they exert slight pressure on the base of the fibula and tibia so the body can monitor ankle joint positioning and decrease injury. In physics terms, these straps act like a safety belt and help control the inertia of your joints. The soles of the shoes were designed specifically for optimum traction and minimal resistance while pivoting. And while the original pair of Air Force Ones didn't have perforated toes, this feature was added on soon after for breathability purposes. For the 30th anniversary of the shoe in 2012, Nike released the Air Force One High Lux Max Air. This time around, the shoe featured air technology in the entire sole, giving it max air performance. To show off how far air technology has come, Nike displayed the air pockets and transparent soles. Although Nike was new to basketball shoes, they delivered shoe technology that would lead the way to more creative and avant-garde designs in the following years. For the past 35 years, the Air Force Ones have stayed a classic, essential shoe in both basketball and in everyday wear. The evolution of air technology spans far greater than the Air Force Ones now. There are over a dozen different shoes that incorporate air technology for all different purposes. It is a Nike hallmark. In 1989, Reebok released their take on air technology. They called it Pump. The Pump technology was developed with the fact that everyone is different in shape, size, and performance in mind. The first model featuring this technology had an inflation button on the tongue of the shoe. It pumps air into carefully placed chambers of the shoe in order to create a secure and custom fit around an individual's foot contours. The internal pump bladder was made out of a soft, flexible material called urethane, which encircled the entire foot as well as the soles. This meant customized force impact and further reduced pressure on the soles of your feet. At this time, the competition in cushioning technology was very high, especially in basketball, in terms of dunking, jumping, and landing. Reebok went as far as campaigning directly against Nike and Nike athletes in a campaign called Pump Up and Air Out, featuring their own lineup of pro basketball players.
So, Michael, my man, if you want to fly first class, pump up and air out.
Fast forward to 2012, we saw a breakthrough in cushioning technology. This is Adidas' best performance technology yet, and arguably the best performance technology out right now, period. This is Boost. Boost is comprised of energy capsules, which are pellets made of a highly elastic thermoplastic urethane. This material is super soft while being super springy. To create soles, around 3,000 of these tiny energy capsules are put into a mold and fused together with steam. We've seen Boost in so many different silhouettes already in the past few years, many, if not all of which have had wildly popular success. Just to name a few, there's the Yeezy Boost 350s, the Yeezy Boost V2s, the Adidas NMDs, and the Adidas Ultra Boosts. So why is Boost so special? Boost acts like a pillowy shock absorber for your feet. It offers high amounts of what Adidas calls energy return. What this really means is that these elastic thermoplastic urethane pellets reduce the loss of energy. It doesn't actually give you back any more energy than you put in, as that's not simply possible, but it has a much higher efficiency percentage than any other cushioning technologies we've seen thus far. This means someone can run the same run with less effort, or faster, or longer. Boost has brought Adidas back to the forefront of the sneaker industry and leveled out the playing field with Nike. It is so successful because every athlete in every sport wants energy return, wants comfort. It is a universal language. We can see Boost in over 20 different shoes across the spectrum of sport today, including basketball, running, snowboarding, baseball, and more. Most recently, Nike released a shoe technology that has been a dream since 1989, the self-lacing shoe seen in the movie Back to the Future 2.
Power laces, all right.
In this iconic scene, Marty McFly puts on the futuristic powered lacing sneakers from 2015. In 2011, Nike made it a reality, and in 2016, a mere 89 pairs of these high-tech sneakers were raffled off to the public.
There you go. You need to turn the lights on.
Nike also released a more wearable pair of self-lacing sneakers called the HyperAdapt 1.0. Both Nike Mags and HyperAdapt 1.0s feature a motorized system or a lace engine that tightens laces by winding them around spools to a certain tension when the heel sensor detects the pressure of your foot. Nike calls this EARL technology, an acronym for Electro-Adaptive Reactive Lacing. On top of all that, Nike also incorporated wireless charging into the HyperAdapt 1.0s. Magnetic charging pods that stick to the lace engine charge the shoe by using an electric magnetic field to transfer the energy between the two through electromagnetic induction. It only takes 2 hours to fully charge the shoe's engine from 0%, and the battery is good for another 2 or more weeks. Nike is looking forward, and this is the future of sneakers. In the years to come, we can look forward to seeing a Mag 2 and multiple more versions of the HyperAdapts, just as we've seen the iPhone improve again and again. In the past 100 years, the sneaker realm has evolved immensely. Incredible technologies have been discovered due to the laws of physics, and it will no doubt continue to improve. So the question is, what's next?